My first time working at Roy's, I served Tom Hanks, Miley Cyrus, Jordan Sparks. What's his name? Jason Derulo.
Now, if that happened at Applebee's, like you could, as a server, you could be like,
Holy
Wilson! All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Apron Podcast. Today we have a special show today. So for our appetizer, we have a good friend of ours, Noah Sassman. For our entree, we're going to be talking what it's like about serving in a restaurant, dealing with drama that happens inside of a restaurant. And for our dessert, we played this before, Would You Rather. So it's going to be a good show. But introducing on tap, Noah Sassman. How are you doing, buddy?
Thank you, John. I'm doing very well. How are you?
Doing pretty awesome, man. It's been, for people that don't know, it's been a month since we filmed our latest episode. Like, everything going on and stuff like that. We were kind of like, okay, let's take a little bit of time, but I mean, we're back. So
Getting back in it.
Into it. So you served. So I'm sorry. Where did you begin in the food industry?
So it first started at Taco Bell when I was 16. Okay. I sat in the Taco Bell waiting for my mom to come pick me up for weeks, and the manager just came up to me and was like, "Hey man, do you just want a job?" So I started off there, and I was like a cashier, and then I went on to the drive-thru and then line cook. And Taco Bell was okay. It was a fun time, stuff. Wasn't too much drama, and just cleaned. And
yeah. So from there, though, like your next job after Taco Bell,
after Taco Bell, I worked there for about 9 months.
Okay.
And I took a gap in between working like the restaurant industry. I just kind of focused on high school and stuff. And then December of 2011 is when I started working at Applebee's. It was the one surprise. And that was where I worked as carside to go. And so that was kind of my first introduction to like serving a little bit. Yeah. So it wasn't tables, but it was like taking people's orders, getting all the food ready, taking it out to the cars, making tips.
That fast pace,
real fast pace. Sometimes like carside to go, I've made $180 just because it's moving.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I have like 7 orders going at once. And while working there, I worked as a host. I worked, as an expo, a line cook, prep cook, dishwasher. Worked every position besides a server there, and a bartender, obviously, just because I wasn't of age. So, because you had to be 19 at the time. So I worked there for a long time, and then I ended up moving on to Roy's in Desert Ridge, and that was like a higher end kind of restaurant for those of you who don't know what Roy's is. And, we had crumbers where we had to scrape crumbs off tables. And there I was a server assistant. So I was just...
Is that like where, so you said crumbers. I went to like a fine dining restaurant in California. And they literally had like this like small metal thing that they use. Yep. And then they have an iron. And I'm like...
What?
Yeah, no. I was
never heard of this.
I looked at my wife. I'm like, I think we're in the wrong place. This might be
like an iron to like get the wrinkles out.
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
it's crazy.
We didn't have anything that classy, but we had like the little metal scrapers, and they're like curved a little bit. And so after every course, you take the crumber and you scrape off all the crumbs and all the debris that or trash that someone left behind, which is always a ton, and you get rid of it. But yeah, that goes in between every single course. And as a server assistant, that was like my main job, like busting the tables, giving them waters, giving them their initial free appetizer, which at Roy's it was like edamame, some dude who liked bread and stuff. And then after that, I joined the military. And while in the military in San Diego, I started working at Applebee's again in San Diego. And worked there for a couple months as a host, just because they didn't have any other positions open and their car side wasn't as popular. So I wasn't getting a lot there. And then I realized that they had a Roy's in San Diego, and that's when I went to the Roy's in San Diego, and I worked there. Worked there for about a year and a half while I was in the military. And then when I got out, I worked at Culinary Dropout, which is in Tempe. That was an amazing location. I loved that restaurant experience.
I love the name Culinary Dropout. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's just kind of like edgy a little bit.
It catches you, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm
a dropout, so I'm like perfect. Yeah,
that's all me. Like the food was just like off the wall stuff, so it'd have like a real like culinary and like creative, what's it called? Style to it, I guess. Yeah. But then it had that bar like attitude too. So it was like real great food. So you'd have like a regular bar burger, but it ended up having like a pretzel bun, and have like all the sauces made in house, so it was
gourmet style.
Yeah, gourmet style to it. And then so there I was a bar back and a server.
So you went from Applebee's, which I meant is a fine establishment to like a really kind of like a higher end.
Yeah,
like,
it's where you go to meet women. Yeah.
I use the internet for that one, but yeah. So like, I don't know. I've only worked in like one type of restaurant, like my whole time, Italian restaurant. Is it intimidating going from like like an Applebee's to a place like Roy's?
A little bit, just because like the guests that you end up getting or customers. Sorry, the restaurant industry has me like tuned to say guest instead of customers. Yeah. But like at my first time working at Roy's, I served Tom Hanks, Miley Cyrus, Jordan Sparks. What's his name? Jason Derulo.
Now, if that happened at Applebee's, like you can, as a server, you could be like,
Holy
Wilson,
crap.
like you're expected to act a certain way when you see these celebrities.
But versus the high end.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, Mrs. Sparks, or yes, Mr. Hanks. Can I get you more water? And that's it. And Miley Cyrus was like the most interesting because that's when she was kind of going through her.
Bangers like tour and stuff like that, the whole
rebellion
stage.
So she had just gotten proposed to by what's his name? The guy she made the song about Wrecking Ball about.
Tom Hanks.
No. Man, it's like William Hemsworth or something like that. So she'd just gotten proposed to by him, and that was also the first time I ever saw her with short hair. So like all on TV, she was Hannah Montana. She had her long hair. I think she had just turned into Miley Cyrus and stuff, or took the role as Miley Cyrus. And there too, like that whole experience was pretty interesting. So I had some servers saying like, "Dude, we think she's coked out right now," like all this different stuff. I wasn't too sure. I don't know.
You looked at them and you're like, I'm coked out right now. Like, what?
You guys aren't on coke? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, come on. I bought it from her, guys.
How do you guys get through it? Dude, what was also interesting, I knew she was only 20 at the time, but when Miley Cyrus comes in and she asks for an alcoholic beverage, you give Miley Cyrus the alcoholic beverage, like whatever she asked for.
We're gonna get a restaurant closed down tomorrow.
Yeah, probably. I don't even remember who the server was, so it doesn't matter. But so yeah, that was a really cool experience. That was actually during Muhammad Ali's fight night, celebrity fight night. So that's why all the celebrities were there.
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali was supposed to be there, but he was having a really bad Parkinson's breakout at the time and stuff. R.I.P. Muhammad Ali.
The greatest of all time.
All time. And so working at Roy's and like, working or serving those type of people, completely different than at Applebee's, where I'm serving people who are usually trying to put hair in their food to get out of a check, so like
you deal with the Karens at Applebee's. You deal with like the actual people that Karen's husband works for or something.
Yeah, exactly. But don't get it wrong though. Those people they'll make complaints about.
Oh, yeah.
I had people. So when you're working in fine dining, like you have to serve a certain way. I forget if it was like on the left and then clear on the right. And again, crumb after every meal, making sure their waters are filled after they're 3/4, like 3/4 full, you fill it up that extra quarter. So I had people who were like, not everyone here is done. Why are you clearing my plate? Because once everyone is finished is when you start to clear the food. You're not supposed to clear it beforehand.
Oh shoot, I fuck up all the time. Somebody's done. I fucking take. I'll take their cups away from them.
I did it anyways. I was like, dude, this guy's already done with his food and like it's clean and he's got to push forward. I'm going to take the plate. But some people, they would complain about it.
That's true.
And then also working at the Roy's in San Diego during Comic-Con, I served Stan Lee.
R.I.P. the legend.
Yeah, R.I.P. the legend. Stan Lee. So, have you guys seen Workaholics?
Yeah.
So, not the main guy who did a movie with Zac Efron.
Adam DeVamp or whatever.
Yeah, not him.
The curly hair,
other
the tall
two.
one.
The other two and the drug dealer from the show.
How do you take those guys seriously? Like,
Dude,
they walk in and you have to call them sir. You're like, you were just like, smoking weed.
The San Diego location was a lot more relaxed. Mm-hmm. Like, we could have our sleeves rolled up a little bit. We weren't supposed to, I don't think, but the general manager at the time, he didn't really care. He actually, I think he was asked to resign. But
because of the sleeves?
I guess he was just lax in a lot of different areas. But super cool guy, and I liked it. But so when I was serving them, I remember even asking the guy who plays Durr. I was like, dude, I'm like, what's it like, man? Just having people come up to you all the time. Like, do you ever get sick of it? And he's like, dude, not one bit. He's That's like, awesome, he's like, I love it. He was a super cool guy. Both of them ended up going to the kitchen, taking pictures with all the cooks or chefs, and cool. Yeah, it was super cool. Real engaging group. Voice for Patrick Star and SpongeBob. That guy came in.
That's funny. Like that's something that you have to hear from the grapevine. Like where they're coming in because you can't see their face and be like that's fuck. Like,
Oh,
you
not even that
you
they're
might
coming
hear
in.
it.
You just hear, dude, they're at this table. They're at table 64. You gotta go.
Everyone's fucking like looking, peeking like around the corner. Like that's him. That's
Dude,
him.
I guess the server
SpongeBob's
actually,
a lot different on TV than he is like right
the
here.
server, I guess, got him to like put his order in using SpongeBob's voice.
No.
So it's just like that's just a cool experience as a server too. Like having SpongeBob order the food. But yeah, so like working in those locations completely different than Applebee's. Applebee's, you know, the standards are a lot lower. When it comes to like memorizing ingredients, because you know as a server you have to know like, oh, what's in this sauce, what's in this. I'm sure.
I mean, you should.
That.
I don't, but like you
Okay.
should. No, it's expected, but
Well, dude,
It's like
when I
everyone
was
but John.
no, yeah.
everyone, John does, but John doesn't. But yeah, so you know when I was there, you had to know. I was a food runner at Roy's,
Yeah.
so I had to know all the ingredients that go in all the sauces. Be aware of any allergies that could happen, how it's cooked to make sure that, you know, it doesn't come into contact with, let's say, shellfish or something, and someone has a shellfish allergy.
Just like higher standards, like
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I feel like all restaurants kind of share like similar beliefs in that too, but like other restaurants just enforce it a lot like harder. Like at that high end restaurants, you're not going to see somebody slip up on that. Like I meant, like you said, you were a server's assistant.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that I've never like heard about.
It's pretty much a glorified busser. That's pretty much all it is. And then you refill waters, and you.
Dude,
they also have.
Can you imagine if somebody refilled like waters for us? Dude,
That'd be amazing.
that would make my job 90% easier.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
definitely.
definitely.
We moved on from like we used to have these like big plastic cups, and then we moved on to these tiny like little. They look like fucking shot glasses. One person takes a sip, and you're like, oh, come on, keep on refilling the waters and stuff. And there's some things that you can't do. I can't leave a pitcher like at a table, even though like you know that one person's like fucking drinking water like he's a camel, and I'm like, dude, I'm now like suffering from other people because of things like that. I don't know. That's like something that just
Well, and then you also have to go around and find these pitchers that all the other servers haven't kept refilling. So you're like, oh, now I got to go back to the kitchen and refill this
And there's
pitcher.
people like me that hide them. Like I'll be like, I'll know Michael.
Oh, yeah,
I
dude,
know
I
Michael's
think
working. And I'm like,
every server, I think,
I
does
hide him
that.
like where he doesn't go. And he's like, where the fuck is the pitcher? So I'm like, I don't know.
Where can I put this pitcher so no other server finds it and I can always water my tables? Yeah, dude, I think almost every server does it. Maybe I'm not speaking for you, but yeah, I always did that, especially when I was working and serving at Culinary. You know, it was actually interesting. When I started serving at Culinary, their standards for training was so much more in-depth than Roy's.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because Roy's being, you know, a high-end place. I mean, it's not crazy high-end to where it's like $100 a plate, but, you know, they had plates that were $60, you know, and on average they're about $30. So when I was working at Culinary Dropout, they wanted the same thing. Like, but before you can even get certified as a server, you had to have all that stuff memorized.
Yeah.
While when I worked at Roy's and I was a food runner, you know, it was more so like, yeah, you need to know it, just learn it as you're going kind of thing. But they wouldn't even let you serve tables if you didn't know that stuff at Culinary Dropout.
Which is funny because like I mean anybody can read up on things and like you know like pass like I'm so good at taking tests like literally like when I went to college like I was like man like I don't know how like I wouldn't study you know like but like you know I would like read the back of like the notes and stuff like that and then I would take the test because I just feel like some people are just good at tests you know like I look at an answer I'm like oh there's two wrong for sure and then there's one that's kind of in between I just kind of have to fit to see what
Dude, a lot of these were like fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
So you had like it just says write down all the meats that we have on the charcuterie charcuterie board.
don't even know.
It's a weird word, man. I'm not cultured enough to pronounce it. But so you had to name all the different types of meats, and then you had to name what the difference between the meats were.
Yeah.
And you had to know where they came from.
if it's not multiple choice, I have no chance.
Oh, dude,
I have
it was
zero
rough.
chance. I'm like the spelling count. Yeah, and you spelled your name wrong, John. I'm like, it's hard, man.
Dude, sometimes I forget the H, man. Freaking,
It's a silent H, guys. Okay,
It's silent. It's silent. So at Culinary though, like even though you're doing the test, because I was already a bar back there, I already knew a lot of the servers. And, you know, you keep your tests and stuff. So a lot of servers will help you out, especially if you're cool with them. So I got like a whole bunch of like the old tests and stuff. And so I knew, all right, what are the answers? What are the questions that they're going to ask? What do I need to memorize exactly in order to get certified? But yeah, those tests were in depth. They were crazy. Like it blew my mind how in depth they were.
I guess
Sam Fox, he's a great restaurateur, and he obviously had his reasons for doing it. But
I guess like my only like understanding like maybe why they do that is because like if in these higher end restaurants, right? Like, you know, those servers that work there, it's not a transitional job for them. They're not just going to school, and like they're working in this industry and they're making a lot of money doing it.
Exactly.
And when you work at like a place like lower than that, like let's say Applebee's, you know, like it's just a different class of people. Servers that work there, they don't want to work at Applebee's their whole entire life. You know, like they're probably doing.
They're hoping to move on.
They're going to school like part-time, they're working part-time, so it's not career to them, so they're not going to take it as seriously as somebody that raises their family over the job. Like I have 2 kids, you know, like in a stay-at-home wife. I'm very blessed, you know, like for the job that I work at, you know, like they take care of me, and I'm able to raise my family like with the money I make. But there's a lot of servers that I work with, you know, there's a lot of servers that I work with that don't take the same approach.
Don't put the same effort
into like to serving their tables, and because it's just transitional. This is something that they're not going to do for a long period of time.
Yeah, they're just trying to make by.
Yeah.
And so
we have a name for those. We call them assholes.
Oh, do you spell that 1 S or 2?
Well, the S's are silenced.
Oh, okay. All right, got it. So, I mean, I totally agree with that with like places like Roy's. Mm-hmm. When I went to Culinary Dropout, though, because it's a gastro pub and like you're wearing jeans, I was wearing jeans, Chucks, and a button-down shirt. And it was
just sounds like a dream.
Oh, it was so great.
Yeah.
I loved the uniform requirements of Culinary Dropout. I was just so shocked that a gastro pub, you know, some place that has, you know, 18 different taps of beers and just sandbags or corn bags in the back to toss, that they would have such high requirements. Mm-hmm. Then when I moved on to North Italia in San Diego, when I moved back to San Diego, they had the same exact requirements. You had to learn everything on the menu, write it down on the test before you could get certified. Huge process. North Italia was way worse because they had a huge wine selection. I don't know if you guys know anything about wine.
Nothing. Yeah, I know there's red wine and white wine, and there's a lot of wine in between that I don't know.
Yes,
dude. Like what goes good with the spaghetti meatball? I'm like, water.
In North Italia, they wanted you to be able to make recommendations for each entree. They wanted you to know like where these wines came from, how they're grown. So like which direction were the vineyards facing towards the sun? Was it on the east side? Yeah. So that's a huge part. That's a huge part with like how wines are grown, because if they get morning sun versus evening sun, it could be completely different. Yeah. And just learning
morning wood is different than afternoon wood.
Oh yeah, one you play with, one you don't. Like exactly. So, but yeah, so it was just like so intense, and I couldn't believe it. North Italia just was not worth it. Like the tips I was getting there, I think it's because it was the area. It was in a mall, and there was a lot of foreigners who don't necessarily follow the same tipping method as
it's different
Americans
in their country, so
tip.
like they don't understand.
Yeah, you know, in like Japan, I guess like I had friends who've been there, and they'll leave a tip and they'll run out to you and give it back to you because they don't accept them. It's just not.
Yeah, it's a cultural thing. It's a cultural thing. I remember like it's one of those things too. Like some people try to be like, you know, cautious of it. Like I served a group of people that were from like an Asian like country, and they went up to me. They said, "Is this tip good?" And it was, the bill was $60. Okay. They tipped me $1. And how do you tell somebody that that's bad? Like I understand what they were trying to do. Like, and honestly, they could have like tipped me more if I said it wasn't bad. But I'm never gonna be that person to say, yeah, that's a bad tip. Like I just told, like, I'm like, hey, it's fine, man. Whatever you leave me, you know, like that's your decision. You know, like I'm not gonna like be mad.
See, you're a nice guy. I probably would have been like...
I'm not. You know, like, I'm really not.
No. I would have been like, no, dude, that tip sucks. Like,
yeah, well, the only thing is, like, I don't want to set that precedent for other people.
And honestly, like, you know, you could say nice guy, but I feel like what you said, I'm setting somebody else up for failure. I just don't want to like tell somebody like how much they should give me. I just feel like...
Well, and then also, how do you tell them that their $1 tip should be multiplied by somewhere between 6 and 12 of that? You know, like, oh, like, you know, that $1 is really nice, but you should actually be tipping $12. Yeah. Like, how do you tell
if you times that by 11, then we have a good tip. Yeah.
Dude, that's why I love the restaurants that actually put, they'll have like the printout with like percentages at the bottom of the receipt. Like, oh, 20% is this, 18% is this, 15% is this.
Well, we went over this, remember, like on an earlier episode, like where it was like, But sometimes those restaurants do before tax, and so $20, like, you know, like we'll just do easy math. You know, like let's say $5 is taxed for $15. I know it's not, but let's just say that if you tip me like, you know, $3 off of 15, that's a, you know, 20% tip. But if you add tax into it and the tax brings it up to $20 and you tip me $3, well, then I just look at it like, shit, I should have got tipped, you know, like
I must have not done that.
Yeah, like $4, like
why did I only get?
Which is crazy because it's just a number at the end of the day. I don't know, like why, like if it's not exactly 20, I'm fucking pissed, like type deal, like.
Dude, that's a crazy mindset to have too, because I think every server when they bring the bill to them and when they go and pick it up, they're expecting a 20% tip. Every single server,
yeah.
And you know, like I'm guilty of that too. But at the same time, it's like, is that the tip that people are supposed to be tipping, or is it supposed to be 10's the median? Like it just seems to be increasing.
Oh, yeah.
So because it used
Which
to
I'm
be,
for. I want it to be like
as a server, I'm totally for it.
I'm like, yeah, like honestly, 20% is kind of low.
As a server, I'm totally for it, but as a guest though, I'm like, do I want to tip? Like the bill's $100, I want to tip $20 on this. I'm like, but at the same time though, I shouldn't. If you're going to go out to a restaurant and you're going to make $100 purchase, if you can't afford the extra $20 or like, it's like you should plan for that tip. You should plan to spend a little bit more money. So I mean, it's a weird situation, and it's like as a server, I always wanted to get the 20% tip, but at the same time, I'm like, you know, 15% it's a good tip. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just whatever reason that my mentality with it is like, it's only 15%.
So obviously, like you said, you got paid out like differently in some areas than other areas. Does that really dictate though, like how much you like the job? I feel like
it definitely helps.
I feel like, you know, I agree. I feel like it does help, but like there's other contributing things, right? Would you say?
Oh yeah. So I mean, as far as like what I like about a restaurant,
yeah, like because I think I used to work at a restaurant like in a chain restaurant that we work at. It was just in a different area, and I got better tips there. But I looked around like with the people I like worked with, and I'm like, dude, these people are pricks. You know, like I can't stand these people.
They suck. They're lame. I don't want to hang out with these people.
I'd rather make less money somewhere else and be happier, because I mean I think it all just depends on your moral stance. Like, you know, like whether, you know, all you value is money. You know, where I value, I'm like, fuck it, I can't take this shit with me when I'm dead. So I enjoy like the
company that you're with,
the camaraderie, and like, you know, like my peers, I guess. Even this guy, you know,
even me,
even you,
even him, dude. So I mean, yes, money plays a huge contributing factor, but I do agree with you. Like the money, like the people that you work with can make or break the job. Because if I'm getting paid a ton of money, but I hate every single person there, I'm going to be miserable every time I go in.
Yeah.
But like, so at North Italia, because I was making such crap tips, because there was a lot of foreigners, it was in a mall, it just wasn't a good location. The only reason why I stuck around for as long as I did was because I liked the people.
The people,
yeah, the people were cool. And, you know, it's always funny too. It's like every restaurant has, like, after hours, you always go to one or two different bars.
Yeah.
Every server goes there. That is something I did love. Like, I love that camaraderie, and like that we'd all go to that one bar afterwards and you know, talk about the guests that we had, like the crappy experiences. Oh, this manager did this and made me so mad, or
because at the end of the day, it's a team thing. Like team. Like building, like is
everyone
not,
experiences it. No,
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. Like they understand. You know, like team building happens more often after you know, like you experience things together. You know.
Yeah. Well, and then also like when you're complaining and stuff about stuff like that, it's like misery loves company. So everyone's just like, let's do it. Let's all talk crap about the managers. You know, how they don't know how to do their job, and I could do it way better. You know, like whatever.
Well, one of the first things if you deal with like an asshole, like, you know, like customer, you go to, I call them the DBs, designated buddies. You know, like I run to my DB and I say, dude, fucking table 19 over here, fuck those pieces of shit. And they're like, what happened? I'm like, dude, he said refill my water when he had took a sip like that. Fuck that asshole, you know, type deal.
Dude, this guy wants to pull the pork out of these beef patties or these hamburger patties that happen to have a little bit of pork in them. I'm like, what a dick, dude. Yeah. I'm like, well, yeah, I'm going to go back there and pull out every bit of pork when it's already pre-made. I'm sorry, man. Dude, that was always the worst part. I hated the different complaints or like the different requests you'd get from some like guests or customers, and dude, that was the worst. Like you always get super specific ones too. I remember I had one guy, he came in
first world problems, you know, like type deal.
Dude, this guy had it to a T. His order, like he was like, I want 3 eggs. I want the French toast.
Specific people
with
hate
this
it.
many ramekins of this sauce for the. I think it was like a blueberry glaze or something like that, or strawberry glaze. And he's like, I want this many pieces of bacon. But then you're like, okay, dude, well, you want 3 pieces of bacon, but they come in orders of 2. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you here. Like, trying to talk to the chef. I'm like, hey, how would you like me to charge this, or how would you like me to run this? And like, so all those different problem things. Or the guy who just downs his soda so fast every time. I'm like,
It's a chugging contest every time you give a refill.
oh yeah. And it's funny too, before I was actually a server, I remember going to a restaurant as like a young kid, and like him giving me a Coke or something, and me just putting down the entire Coke and going, need another one. Like, and he's probably just like, this little asshole,
This son of a bitch.
And I'm like, man, I've been waiting for 5 minutes for my Coke refill. Like, where is this guy at? Like, he's over here like, dude, I'm like scrambling with all these other tables. I got 2 other guys who are also down in their sodas. Like, what do you want me to do, man? So like, dude, all those things. Like, once I became a server, I quickly realized, man,
You changed like some habits that like you started going out.
Dude, I think every server does it.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, let me just,
absolutely.
pre-bus this table a little bit. Let me like put all my
Oh, yeah.
silverware on there.
It's all fucking neatly like folded and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, like, and the server's like, oh shit, dude. Like, when I see that, I'm like, oh, I'm getting a good tip. I'm getting a good tip, man. These are servers, man.
Yeah, these are servers.
They're gonna
They're
hook it
gonna
up.
hook it
Yeah.
up. Yes, exactly.
Love it. Yeah.
Dude, that was always the big thing when you knew that they were servers. And then like, oh, you know what? I could probably get away with like a little bit of less effort on that table. I could probably put more over here.
And it's funny because some people that you eat with like might not like have serving experience and like, what the hell's going on? Like, even though like, let's say like if I was like the only person in a restaurant and this person's just sucking up everything, I'm gonna make excuses for him. I'm like, hey, like he could just like he could be like fucking swamp bat. He could be cooking our food, guys. Like this is what he could be doing. And he's like back there texting and shit like that. Like I mean, I'm willing, like, from serving, I'm willing to make any excuse for any of these people.
I find myself doing that
because it's
too.
not an easy job. Like there are some times where even when you're in a empty restaurant, like 8 or 9 tables doesn't seem like a lot in a restaurant, but if there's one server on, that's a lot of like. I got a complaint one time. I was so pissed. They wrote my fucking like high up their manager. I had 9 tables like in the restaurant, which like, so half the restaurant was filled up.
That's a lot of tables.
It was a lot of I was the only person. They wrote an email and I got talked to about the email, and I was like listen, like there are people that don't understand. And my manager like was totally like on my side. He's like listen, John, I know that like it was probably something that happened. I'm like, yeah, I had 9 tables. And he's like, enough said. But like when a customer writes a review about it, it's like, look around. It's like, dude, I'm the only guy that's refilling drinks and bringing out
Be
food.
aware of your surroundings.
Yeah.
Just like
it
look
ain't
around.
easy.
Yeah.
Like and that shit just drives me crazy.
Well, and then I'm sure and then plus anyone who hasn't worked in the restaurant business or hasn't been a server before, they're thinking this guy just has to refill my drinks and bring my food. Like, why can't he just do that?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a hard job.
Yeah, it seems like it'd be super easy. But when you got 9 tables and each person's, can I get a side of this? Can I do this? Or you get sats. Now you have to go through your whole greet process with that one table, which takes like 5 minutes because you got to get their drink orders. You got to give your spiel or your spiel.
Spiel, yeah. No.
Spiel.
Yeah.
Gives your spiel, whatever. You got to give them like that whole breakdown of like, this is our today's special. This is our soup of the day. This is the cocktail that we have. This is the draft beer that we're selling, at cheaper rate. You got to give them the whole rundown.
It takes time, and then other guests that don't know, like
sitting there patiently,
they're like, "What the hell's going on?" That deal.
Just tapping their hand, just like, okay, is this guy gonna come over? And they got that look on their face too, like I'm just fed up with all this.
Yeah.
And dude, it was always the worst. You ever forget to put in an order?
All the time.
I do that
all
a
the
lot.
time, man.
More than I like to admit.
Dude, every time I did it,
I'll be flipping through my book. I'm like, oh, that's fuck.
Dude, it's been 30 minutes. This he's pissed already. I didn't even put the order in. So I quickly go put the order. I'm like, hey, I need this on the fly. I forgot to put the order in. Run to the table. I'm like, dude, this kitchen's backed up. Cooks are fucking up. And they're just like, okay, well, I've been waiting here forever. Like, can you do something? I'm like, yeah, dessert's on me. Don't worry about it, guys. And so you give them the birthday dessert or something like that.
Nice.
But dude,
we've all been there. Like,
that's also
if you're a server and say you haven't, you're a liar.
It's funny as a server when like the food's if you forget to put the order in, you blame the kitchen, and then when the food's taking forever, you still blame the kitchen. You're like, come on, hey, let's just get to this time.
I'm the exact opposite because I always feel like I lie to the customer and say it's my fault because I just feel like in general, if I say that it's somebody else's like issue, they might like look at me like, oh yeah, it's easy for you to say like that, like, but it could be an issue that you fucked up on. So even when it's not my fault, I make up that it was my fault, like, which is terrible, like, but like I just feel like in general it might help me out. And
you are a nice guy.
And honestly, I'm almost excited when things like that happen because I always know this person's probably gonna get free food. And that means I'm gonna get a good tip, you know, like.
Dude, and that's what you'd think.
Sometimes that's what that's what you think.
You're like, dude, you get your whole meal comped. You can't tip me $10. Like, come on, something. But, dude, I'm surprised that you actually owned up to it too. Like, honestly, I'm a crappy person, so I'm just like, dude, I need to get the tip. So I'm gonna blame the kitchen. So hopefully, I get the good tip. You know, like that way they're not taking it out of me. They're like, hey, you know, I completely understand. Kitchen messes up sometimes.
I think either way is probably acceptable, but like I'm just two different like beliefs and stuff like that. Like I'm probably more often wrong, like on that. And it probably hurts me more often than not. But I'm always the first one that's trying to get my table.
At least making it up.
Yeah.
That's the only time where like I feel like it could hurt you. But if you're completely honest about it, like, you know, like, hey, yeah, I did because I have told guests that, you know, like, hey, I forgot to put the order in. I'm sorry. I'm really slammed. Like, I remember my first shift. I think I forgot to put in like 2 orders, and one of them was like 30 minutes. And I told the guy, I was like, this is my first shift. You know, bear with me. I'm really sorry. And he was super understanding about it, and they still give me great tips. I think that night I almost made like $300.
That's great. That's a good night.
Yeah, it was a great night. Dude, that's
a good 2 nights.
Dude, some of the girls at Culinary Dropout, man, like I knew one girl she's made over $600 in one night. And
that's somebody's paycheck.
Dude, right, yeah. It's absurd, man. And I'm like, how are they pulling $600? I'm like, okay, well, you know, I don't have boobs, you know, or like a girl's butt. I got a butt, but it's pretty nice. But sometimes it hooks it up. Dude, actually, there was this one time I had been serving for like 2 weeks, I think. And this girl, she came in for her birthday. So she had all of her friends there and stuff. And I wasn't even serving her table, but she wrote on her receipt this long message just like describing my ass, and she's like your glutes look firmer than the southern mountains.
She wrote you a poem?
Yeah, dude, pretty much. She wrote this long thing, and it was all talking about my ass, and then at the very bottom she left me her number. Never called her or texted her or anything, but I just thought to myself, I'm like, dude, this girl went in. I just think to myself too, I'm like, man, imagine if I had left that for like a girl server, you know, she probably would have been like, this guy is a creep.
Yeah, right. It's funny, like, because like, you know, those things don't happen to me often. You know, like obviously they probably happen to you more than me.
No, that was the only time I got a note like that, dude. Like, it was legendary.
One time I went to this place, Chef Panda. I don't even know if it's still in Surprise, but like I go there like on my break to order some food, and this guy is being such an asshole to the person that's like, you know, like trying to cash me out. And I looked at like the girl, I'm like, right in front of the guy too. I'm like, I don't understand how you work for a piece of shit like that. You know, like you should not be talked to like that. Like, you know, like kind of like, cause it was gross how he was talking to her. And I was married. I had my son was born at the time. And you know, and she writes like on my takeout thing, like, hey, like thank you for like what you said. By the way, I thought you were really cute. Here's my phone number. And I'm so awkward when like things like that happen.
Number.
So because I didn't see it till I got in the car, right? And I drive home. I'm like, oh well, I don't want her to make to feel like I don't think she's pretty, because you know, like I don't want to make her feel bad. So I text her and I sent her a picture of my family pictures. I was like, hey, listen,
that's a real weird move.
It was. Dude, it's just.
Let me show you a picture of my wife and kids.
No, this is what I said. I was like, hey, listen, like, I don't want you to get the wrong idea. Like, I thought you were very beautiful, you know, like, but I'm married, like, I'm happily married with a child, you know, and and I sent that, and then like I'm like, obviously that was the awkward like thing to say, you know, like, but I just didn't want her to.
Just a little bit, but I got your intent. Your intentions were.
My intentions were good.
They were there.
I just kind of followed up like the pretty dumb.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I probably just wouldn't have texted her at all, but I guess like even
that's what normal people would do. Yeah.
But honestly,
that's
like,
the acceptable thing to do.
And honestly, I think it is really nice. Like, that would be cool of you to like just send her a text like, "Hey, I really appreciate you giving me your number, but I am married, this and that."
Yeah.
So I think that is a good thing to do, and I think she probably would have like appreciated. She probably did appreciate.
Well, she did message me back. She's like, okay, lose my number, jackass. I'm kidding. No,
I was like,
no.
wow.
She didn't message me like or anything like that. So like I was like, okay, I don't think she took it bad.
Well, I mean, it's for you though. It's probably a confidence booster. Like, dude, getting numbers at work or getting it when you're going out. That's always nice, man. Like ooh, someone's interested a little bit. Still got it.
I wouldn't know.
Like,
you never got any numbers?
Not at work, at least. No.
Oh, okay, dude. I used to. There was like a couple weeks, dude, where I got them like almost every shift. Like, sorry, I know that I'm coming off arrogant right now, but
hey, give us reasons to hate you.
Yeah, dude. She like I got like all these numbers, dude, and it's just like it became like this thing with some of the other employees. Like, oh, dude, Noah's getting numbers. Noah got another number, and it's all started with that.
Well, you're very charming too, Noah.
Dude, that's what it is. Yeah, it's not my looks. It's just my charm, but. Maybe my glutes, but
obviously it's the as hard as like like the southern
firm as the southern mountains.
The southern mountains.
I was like, wow, that's
never heard that before, but I mean your ass is in a haiku. Like that's pretty. It's pretty cool.
It is a pretty butt.
So we're working at like all these like restaurants. I would say like at least for us, like, so the main topic like of today is drama inside the restaurant.
Always.
Yeah. This is appetizer. This is the big thing. So drama opposed to guests or even like other servers. Like, where do you see it more often?
Like as far as like, I'm sorry, you said for
like so. I mean, there could be drama with.
Where do I see it at?
Yeah, or like
between people.
Yeah,
dude, it's always in between servers and employees.
Yeah,
like always. Whether it's servers in between, like
so catty.
Servers between dude, servers between cooks, between themselves, between hosts, because every server gets they skip me in rotation, they should have served me already, or like my kitchen, the kitchen's taking forever on this one meal, they should do it, and so it's always, dude, there's always some sort of drama, and then it also seems like everyone's always fucking everyone. They're always fucking each other.
Michael's like, no comment,
dude. I mean,
no comment.
Yeah,
but yes.
I mean, I wasn't in the mix, but I was like,
well, you were too busy getting other people's numbers. So,
yeah, dude, I was too busy trying to get the money in line to guests and stuff. So, but yeah, so it was like, dude, it was whether one server's fucking this one, but this server's flirting with this other one, and this other like the server is pissed, and so there's always just giant love triangles everywhere in the restaurant industry. It's just like a huge high school, dude. Like everyone. Oh, yeah. Because I mean, none of them have really. Not none of them. There are people who have worked really, other. No, I'm not going to say real jobs. Have worked other jobs. Sorry, I don't.
Adult jobs.
So they have other they work corporate businesses or whatever. Yeah. So I'm sure there's some people like that. And dude, there's some people who work those jobs and work serving. But a lot of people they've only done the restaurant industry, and it's a lot of like kids who work in there, and I think that mentality bleeds in.
Yes.
And same thing with the military too, dude. Like it was just always high school drama, man. It's ridiculous.
It's the worst when you experience high school drama as an adult. It's like, man, because I think about some things that I was pissed off when I was 6. I remember when a girl broke up with me. I was like, at the moment, it was like the end of the world. I was like, oh my god, I was eating like fucking ice cream and stuff like that. But I look back on it now.
I can't go into work today.
I look back on it now, like, and I'm like, what a fucking idiot, dude. Like, what the hell? Like,
I went over this one.
I didn't have to work. Like, at the time, I was 14 years old. Like, I was like, I had it made easy. I was a free man at that point. Dude, so.
And then if you were working, like, you didn't have any bills you had to pay.
I didn't have bills or anything like that.
Working for fun, just for extra fun money.
Dude, I remember like fucking at 14 years old, I would literally like get home from school. I would play Halo 3 until the sun would go down. And then I would see the sun. And then I would see the sun come up. I would look at my mom. I'm like, Mom, I ain't going to school today. Don't worry, another game, boys. Let's do this.
Taking down the Banshees. Sorry, guys.
But yeah, like in experiencing that stuff as an adult, like hearing these kids talk about it, like because it's never good to say, oh, hey, listen, your problems are like are shitty. Like they aren't real problems, because then people get offended.
You're belittling.
Yeah, you're belittling their things, but they don't understand. Like they literally don't.
Pain is relevant.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Pain is relative. Yeah, like
relative. There you go.
Relative. Yeah, but it's fucking dumb though. I'll say, like, when I hear, like, especially about drama in the restaurant, as far as like people dating other people, I'm like, this is the dumbest thing. Like, just live your fucking life.
Dude, Amber hasn't texted me back in 2 weeks, but we've worked like 3 times together. I know she can. I always see her on her phone. What the heck, dude? Always that kind of drama, man. Always. And then like even with managers too, managers get involved in it. You're like, dude, you're a manager, man. Like, what are you doing?
Well, like, have you had like a big experience, like experience like with like a really bad drama, like with you like involved in it?
With me involved,
yeah.
Not really. Again, dude, I didn't really get too much into that stuff. There was some cases like in between, like with another server. Like I remember one time I was in Expo, and I'm on the line, so I'm taking food down, I'm checking food, and I remember I turned, and this server just ran into me, dropped all of his drinks when I turned, and he was behind me. And what are you supposed to say anytime you're behind someone in the restaurant?
Move, fucker.
Pretty much. But you shout behind.
Yeah, no,
You're
yeah.
like, behind.
Yeah.
And so,
let them know that you're there, yeah.
dude, this server, I'm like, oh shit, and I'm like, I'm not pissed about it because I'm like, he just bumped into me, like he made the mistake of not saying behind. I'm sure he's gonna beat himself up about it because now he has to refill his drinks. Instead, this guy just starts going.
You would think, yeah.
You would think that's like the right way to respond to that, but instead he's just like, you fucker, dude. He's like, you're not gonna pay attention. He starts going off, dude. Right. And I like now I'm on the defensive. Now I'm pissed and I'm just like. Not thinking, like I should have just immediately been like, you should have fucking said behind this and that, but instead I'm just like, fuck you, that was your fault.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck you. I'm like, you were behind me, man. How was I supposed to know you were there? And then I remember, he like was trying to get my dude. This guy's probably like 40 years old. And at the time, I was in Expo at Applebee's.
They act like the biggest childs. Like, so, like if you're 40 years old working in a restaurant, you're probably the least mature person there.
Dude, yes, man. And I'm like, dude, I'm 17 years old, and you're gonna start trying to fight me in this kitchen. Like, okay, we could throw down, I guess. Like, you're gonna be the one who gets in the most trouble. Like,
you're gonna need a hip replacement after I'm done with you.
Or, dude, I'm just thinking to myself, like. Besides that, I'm like, yeah, I might lose this job, but I'm going to go to my mom's house and I'll be perfectly fine. Like, he's either going to go to jail if I press charges or he's going to lose the income for his family. Yeah. So I'm like, whatever, man, like whatever you want to do. But so he ends up leaving, dude, and he's like super pissed. And I started realizing, like, oh, dude, he should have said behind. I'm going to throw that in his face as soon as he gets back here. I was 17, so I was like, I'm going to keep this going. So he comes back in there and he's like still going off of me. And I'm like, dude, you should have said behind. That's like something we learned from day one. You say behind, this and that. And he was just super pissed about it. Manager came in over there and like pulled him aside and like he sided with me. And I was like, yeah, get him the fuck out of my kitchen, dude. Like, I'm Expo, man.
You're double my age and I'm right. How do you feel, bitch?
Yeah. Dude, more than double my age.
More than double your age, yeah.
But yeah, so that was probably the biggest thing between like servers. I remember one time kind of snapping at a guest. I had put my 2 weeks in at North Italia.
Oh, so you're done.
Which is the best time to snap at guests. Yeah, you're like no consequences, bitches.
What are you guys going to do, fire me? I don't care.
You greet all your tables like, what's up, fuckers? What can I get for you guys?
You want what? No.
The station's right over there, bitch.
Yeah, we have self-serve. But dude, so like this guy, he was a foreigner, and dude, this happened all the time, man. Like the main foreigners we had there were Middle Easterners, and there was always a big language barrier, and so they have trouble reading the menus, and which I get to, but they'd want you to stand there and wait for them to read over this entire menu, answer any questions that they had while you're standing there. And you'd be standing there for like 10 minutes. And you're like, dude, I have 8 tables back here. I need to go jump on.
And you don't want to be a mean guy, cut them short.
Yes.
I hate when people do that. Same thing. Like when I'm pre-bussing tables, and then somebody wants to talk and have a fucking like really long conversation about like a topic that I probably shouldn't be talking about at work. And I'm like, dude, I have your whole. There's 6 people here. There's 7 like plates on my fucking like hand right now. I'm gonna die. I'm trying to be a nice guy. Like,
putting your elbow into your hip so that way make sure you don't drop it.
I agree with you. And my arms like can't stand when that happens.
Dude, it sucks even worse too when it is a good conversation and it is a cool guest, because you're like, dude, man, I could talk to this guy all day and I know he'll give me a bomb tip if I do it. But it's just like, you're like, man, dude, I'm sorry, man, I gotta go. And then you don't want him to think that you're blowing him off, so you come back and you try to finish it up a little bit or quickly wrap it up. Dude, that always sucked because I didn't want them, again, to feel like I'm blowing them off or something, because I legitimately like the conversation. But
yeah. Well, I'm notorious for doing that, right? Like, I remember this was like before closing, like these really good regulars came in. I'd always talk to them and shit like that. And everybody's trying to get their close and side work done, like, because it's an empty restaurant, it's only them.
Yeah,
and
once you cut, you're like, quickly wipe all this down.
So not you, Michael, but the other Michael goes up to me like with the phone and says, "Hey, your wife's calling you right now." You know, like, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." You know, I'm like, "I'm so sorry, guys. I'll be right back." And I go back there, like, I'm like, "Oh, there's nobody there." And like, they look at me like, "We're trying to get the fuck out of here, John." Like, dude, like, come on, man. Like,
we're here chopping it up forever.
You're here chopping it up. I'm like, they're nice people, man. They always tip me well. Come on, what do you want me to do? You know, like,
and they're like, "We want you to get the fuck out of here. Take the shit tip."
Dude, oh man, but it's one of those things you don't want to be rude. You don't want to start things with them. And
dude, it's honestly cool that he did that because he did it in a good way. Like,
that's a smart. Yeah, it was a clever. I thought it was a
clever way.
In front of the tables.
Yeah,
You away.
Yeah, he got you to come away. He made it for a reason that the guests would be understanding of, and then he told you, he's like, "Dude, I'm trying to get the fuck out of here." Okay,
I have kids at home, John. Okay, yeah,
like I'm trying to leave. I'm trying to go to the bar right now before it closes. Yeah, dude, those were always real crappy times, man. Like when you actually couldn't have the amount of time you wanted with a guest. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so that dude I snapped on though, he'd be standing there. I'd stand there forever, and I tried going away. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys more time. He's like, no, come back, and he like make me stand there. And so finally, he finished his thing. Go to my other tables. I'm trying to apologize, and I quickly catch up on all the other tables now because I've been standing off to the side for so long, and this guy, he keeps calling me over, and I had already put in his pizza, and I told him when I put the order in, I'm like, it's going to take 20 to 30 minutes for this pizza to be ready. And I remember I'm walking by the table, and he's super pissed, and he's like, "Hey," he's like, "I've been waiting for like 45, 30 minutes for this pizza." And dude, I was just fed up, and I knew exactly because I had just checked at what time I put the pizza in. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, I snapped my finger, and I pointed at him, I'm like, "No, I was like, no, you've been waiting for 18 minutes for that pizza. You haven't been waiting for 30, 45 minutes for that pizza." And he just like, oh, and he like sat back, and I'm like, I'm going to go check on it for you. And I was like, but it's not going to be, I told you 20 or 30 minutes. So buckle down. Like, dude, it felt so good. Just pointing at him.
Straight,
and yeah, he's just got real stiff and like, up in his chair. Yeah, he did not expect it.
Those are the worst people, I feel like, in general. Like, dude, I've experienced so many times where I tell somebody, "Oh, this is going to take 30, 40 minutes." But 30 to 40 minutes to them is the same as 2 minutes. You know, like they're
just sitting there waiting for their food. They're hungry. And I get that they're like getting impatient, but it's like, dude.
But I told you in the first place, you know, like,
yes, I gave you the heads
timer,
up.
You know, like, and then like, because I know when I put that shit in, you know? Mm-hmm. So that, I don't know. Like, I think they think 20 to 30 minutes means like, oh yeah, well, we were at the door for 20, so it should be ready in 5. It's like, no, asshole.
Like, dude, it's from when I told you. And even then, though, you're like thinking, like, well, that's if I put the order in on time too. Like, did I put it in right away? Or I usually gave myself like, if the kitchen told me, yeah, pizzas take 20 minutes, I would always say 30. Like,
so would you? Last question on this drama thing. Would you say drama is worse with a customer or another employee?
Dude, drama is always worth other employees. I mean, that was the only time I have ever snapped at a customer, and but without that, with the exception of that one time, I've never had a time where, like I got into it with like a guest, like because you can't. You're like you're wanting a tip, yeah. And then plus, if your manager
you'll
finds
never
out
see
you
those
get fired,
people again as well. Like
so it doesn't really matter. Like they won't be mad at me. I'm not gonna take it personally.
I always like bad tables. I'm like, you know what? Somebody's gonna fill that seat right after you leave. Fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm gonna get a better tip. I deserve a do-over.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I would say that's what we have for that main topic, the drama topic, which is a big topic. But we like to do a thing for dessert. We save it for last. This is Would You Rather. Last time we did this, it got pretty intense, okay?
Pretty juicy.
And he didn't answer any fucking questions last time.
Any questions? I don't believe
basically
that.
Any questions, okay?
We're all answering.
Yeah, we're all answering, okay? Especially you're starting off answering, okay? Right. You're reading it and you're answering it.
All right, man. So the first one here, would you rather have all dogs try to attack you when they see you, or all birds try to attack you when they see you?
Well, that's easy. I feel like all birds.
I thought I was supposed to answer first, dude.
Oh, that's fine.
You jumped.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I'm still thinking about my answer here.
Sure.
Like, okay.
Why do you say birds?
Well, because I feel like I've seen some pretty big fucking dogs. Like, I see birds in the sky all the time, and I'm like, dude, this pigeon comes at me, man, he's getting 1-2, to the dome.
He's getting put down.
Yeah, that bird's not gonna fucking get up, but a dog might be a different story. Like a dog might be a Great Dane, and I might try to ride that thing, but by the end of it, because that thing is a fucking horse, and it could kill me.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's true.
What about you?
I'm thinking. I like your reasoning on how birds are normally smaller, even though I've seen a couple vultures out there, and that would be absolutely terrifying.
Dude, the claws, man.
Oh, absolutely.
But
those birds can fly, and they can pretty much get anywhere, which concerns me.
Yeah.
Because I can hide behind a fence with the dog, or like on a car or something.
Exactly. Yeah.
But birds are everywhere.
So you'd go with dogs?
I don't know. I think I'd go with birds, honestly.
You would go with birds, yeah.
Because dogs would be scarier to me.
Dude, I'm going with dogs.
Yeah.
So you'd rather dogs attack you?
Yes, just because, again, like you said, usually they're on leashes, they're in fenced areas, like they'd have to break through that first.
Well, I feel like, but I don't know, just in general, I feel like dogs, in some cases, are designed to hurt people
But when birds start flying in flocks, dude...
Oh, you're done.
I'm not taking on 20 birds, man, all coming at me, just flapping. Dude, I don't know what to do at that point. They're coming at me from above. They get the high ground. Dude, I think dogs, just because, like, how often do you really have dogs loose coming at you? Like, yeah, when you go to a friend's house or something like that, but I would probably just be like, do you have a dog? You know, like, maybe not go.
I guess
I got this thing where dogs just attack me, man. I'm sorry.
I guess in any scenario, at that point, you just have a shitty life. Like, you're going to get attacked by birds or dogs.
Yeah.
And they're both bad.
Yeah, and on the downside, birds, they're going to poop on you. Like, I'm sure while they're attacking you, dude, like, that just wouldn't be fun. But I think I'm gonna go with dogs.
Imagine explaining that to, like, your friends and stuff like that. Like, hey, you want to come over? Do you have any birds that live with you? Because for some reason, every time I go out...
No.
Sorry, man, I can't do it.
You talking about verbal attack too? Like, no way, man.
Yeah, right?
That's funny.
Like, dude, this one's mean.
I like that question. That was a good one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What about the next question? What we got for the next
question? Would you rather be famous when you're alive and forgotten when you die, or unknown when you're alive but famous after you die?
Famous when I'm alive.
Yeah, no,
I don't care what
that's easy.
Yeah. I'm dead.
I agree too.
I'm like, well, I'll get a lot of money. Like, do whatever I want to do. Yeah, I think I'm going fame while I'm alive.
I don't know. I feel like if you are, well, I guess you have to be forgotten when you die here. But I mean, I feel like it's more, you can appreciate it more, obviously, if you're alive.
No, yeah.
And you have more opportunities in your life.
Well, I'm sure Van Gogh would have really appreciated people that liked him when he was alive.
Yeah, right?
Well, who's that one guy? Nikola Tesla or whatever?
Yeah.
I mean, he's more
created
known.
AC generators.
I thought
AC current.
I thought it was the light bulb or something like that. I'm not good at history.
So Thomas Edison created the light bulb.
He stole it from him, though, right?
Wasn't it direct current?
Actually, so Thomas Edison was who worked with direct current, and he created the light bulb.
Okay.
Tesla, what's his first name?
Nikola?
E. coli? Something Tesla. All right, so Tesla, he was actually Edison's assistant.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was telling Edison about AC current, and I think it was, Nikola Tesla. So he was telling Edison about AC current. Edison knew about AC current, but he knew about the harms that he said it was too harmful to actually use. And then Nikola Tesla, he ended up going to another company or another investor, coming up with the AC generators. And then the Hoover Dam was the biggest thing. Or no, Hoover? No, it was actually Niagara Falls.
Okay, yeah.
Niagara Falls was this huge, they were trying to contract it so that way they could produce electricity for the entire country. And so Nikola Tesla, he came up with his AC generator idea. Thomas Edison, who was backed by JP Morgan, he, what's it called? He ended up paying off the investor for Nikola Tesla, stealing his idea, cutting Edison out, and then putting Nikola's idea into Niagara Falls. A little history lesson for you guys.
Yeah, I never thought I would learn so much from a sentence before, but I feel like,
Dude,
I did.
That subject in history.
You just learned something, people, okay?
we got you guys.
Fucking
If
good
you haven't
job.
seen the movie, it's called The Current War. It's amazing. It's got Tom Holland, Benedict Cumberbatch. I forget.
Yeah,
who
Spider-Man, man.
Tesla
That's all you gotta
is.
say. Tom Holland, dude.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Dude, I'll have to look into that one. I'd watch these documentaries called "Making the Men Who Made America," and that's where I learned that stuff. But
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of documentaries. I watch a lot of like dumb cartoon shows.
I was forced to
Yeah.
for a history class, but it was probably the best way we could have learned. I liked it a lot.
Maybe I shouldn't have slept through history class. I should probably know this stuff.
All right. So.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'd rather be famous.
Oh yeah.
You know, famous during life than. Right? Was that it?
Yeah, famous while you're alive versus famous, like versus well known or famous after you're dead.
Yeah, I'd rather that one. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So next question: would you rather have a completely automated home or a self-driving car?
Oh, I feel like you guys saw the movie Smart House, right?
Oh yeah, I'm going Tesla or the self-driving car. Self-driving car.
Okay. If when they fix out the bugs, okay, the smart home that was the prototype. But after the third generation of smart homes, I don't think you'd have that issue. Okay, I'd rather a smart home.
Dude, that tornado she caused in that movie, man, like that was trippy. I don't want the house put on lockdown while I'm in it. I don't want to go through that stuff. At least with like in a Tesla, if I die on autopilot or if I get in a car accident, I'm probably dead.
So. Fucking right off a cliff, dude. Like
yeah, it's just okay. Yeah. It's over. So.
Well, the scary thing is we're moving towards both of those really quickly.
No,
yeah.
So you have smart homes like I was gonna say Ben Affleck, Ben Microsoft. Who's that guy? Bill Gates.
Yeah, I was like Ben.
It started with a B. It's the same thing. Yeah. But Bill Gates, like I heard, he's like doing a smart home actually in Arizona. So like,
really,
like yeah, like in Lower Buckeye or something, or Buckeye. I don't know. I could be wrong, but like that's pretty intense. Sign me up. Like, come on, I want to do this.
That stuff fascinates me, man. Like all the technology they're coming out with, like the AI stuff. Like, dude, it's all so innovative and just like the next big thing, dude. It's just crazy.
I'm over here just trying to delete my history on my browser.
Like,
no one must see this.
I'm like, wait, I gotta delete my photos and then go to recently deleted them, delete them again. I'm like, jeez,
so much work. What they used to do back in the day.
All right. So, would you rather live without the internet or live without AC and heating? And just because I live in Arizona, I would say definitely without the internet.
Yeah,
without AC or heating, easy.
I could find something to do.
if I could move wherever I wanted to, then maybe I'd go without the AC or heating. Like
yeah.
When I was living in San Diego, we never used the AC or heat. So, there I'd
but
without it.
Dude, imagine not having like fucking, I don't know, like the entire world in the palm of your hand, like information like that. I feel like that's way more valuable in general than like, just feeling hot or cold, like.
Yeah, but
you'll get used to the heat, I feel like.
Oh, yeah, but can you imagine just being in your house, like here in Arizona, just sweating balls just because of how hot it is, dude? Like, oh, man, I wouldn't even want to be on the internet. I wouldn't want to sit there on the internet, so I'm like...
Your biggest search thing on the internet, how the fuck do I get out of this hellhole?
How do I cool myself down without AC?
Just ice is like the fucking images and shit
so we still got refrigeration, right? That's what we're going with?
I think so.
Yeah, maybe just hop in the freezer or something, clear it all out.
Dude, leave your fridge open.
Our restaurant actually, it's funny, our restaurant actually one time, like, the AC unit, like, went out or something like that, like, and this was in summertime, and I remember, like, dude, we were still open, like, it sucked, like, but, I mean, they were trying to work as fast as they can. It only was down for, like, a day. I just remember working, I was like, I would literally serve a table and I would walk right into the walk and I'm like, oh my god.
Dude, that was the best.
Dude, it's such a good feeling.
Even when the AC's not out, when you're just running around everywhere and you're getting that sweat going, and you just run into the walk-in real quick and all that sweat gets real cold and you're like, this is beautiful. Let me just chill here for a minute.
And customers don't understand that, when they're like, why are you sweating? Like those are tears in my eyes. Okay, it's fucking hot. Yeah, like this is terrible.
At Roy's, man, we had these like thick button-down shirts, and like the one in Desert Ridge, they wouldn't let us roll them up, and they had this patio for like their happy hour, but it's here in Arizona during the summer, and so you're just sweating through this thing, man. So yeah, I'd always run to the walk-in.
I love the restaurant that I work at right now, but sometimes the decisions, I'm like, come on, like you're not thinking for the like servers. And like every season we change our uniforms. Mm-hmm. In August we changed our uniforms to denim. I'm like, ugh. I was like, no, like let's not do that. Yeah,
I'm trying not to chafe.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to die. Like walking into the store in August. Like, come on.
Was that the first one we went to, or did we go to the Checkers first?
I think it was denim, and then we like migrated to the checker like patterns.
See, that's one thing I loved about like the Fox concept restaurants, like North Italia Culinary Dropout that I worked at. Sam Fox was a server before, so he like he always had servers in mind.
For the people, by the people.
Yes, dude. He was for the people.
Nice.
So did you guys all choose? Like, which one you choose?
Oh, yeah. I said I want...
No AC.
Yeah, no AC. Fuck
or
that.
Heating.
I need my internet.
Okay.
I need AC.
If I'm here, I'm gonna need AC. But if I was like in San Diego, I'd obviously go with that.
Okay, so
Yeah.
relative,
Yeah.
like where
Yeah,
you're
where
at.
I'm
Okay,
at.
yeah, that makes sense.
All right. So, would you rather be compelled to high five everyone you see in person,
Done.
Yeah,
Did
which
that
I
anyways.
do anyway. Yes. Thank you. Easy.
or be compelled to give anybody in a green shirt a wedgie?
I don't know. I kind of like the second one now.
Yeah, that sounds pretty fun.
Why are you wearing green?
Oh, you messed up. you wore the wrong color today, pal.
It's the opposite of St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah. Instead of getting pinched, now you're just getting a wedgie, dude, just for wearing green.
That's funny. Obviously, I'm gonna have to
I'm
go
going
with the
with the
high
high
five because I love.
That would just be so fun.
Yeah, no, I love. Well, regardless. Okay, so anybody that.
Hey, how you guys doing today? My name's Noah.
Well, I have to do this to everyone. Don't worry, guys.
That's a thing.
Yeah. I can't help it. Who doesn't hate a high five? There's only like if I'm sorry if you don't want to give a person a high five. When
Everyone gets excited when you get a high five.
Yeah, you're an asshole if you don't want that.
Maybe
you know?
not right now during the pandemic. Maybe people might be a little standoffish, but usually
Hey, high five?
everyone loves a high five.
Yeah.
Dude, now but everyone goes to the elbows now. They're like, okay, yeah,
Not
just
the
do a
same.
little elbow. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not as fun,
Yeah.
but dude, it's something like that.
You're like a dog.
The COVID high five. I'm like, okay. Was that all of them? Was that the last one?
That's it.
Nice, dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say we did pretty well there. You know, like we kind of all came to sentences. And,
Dude, those were all
whatever.
pretty justified reasons for our choices. So
Yeah, we had a reason. We had a cause, and we stuck to it.
yeah,
But,
but I'm still going with birds for sure. Birds attacking.
Do you know if
or
it's-
dogs attacking? Sorry.
Yeah, dog. No, yeah. What did I say? Birds? No, I said birds. I
Yeah,
really
you said birds.
attack,
I'm going with dogs for sure. 100%.
That was the Apron Podcast, you guys. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you disliked it, click that dislike button. We are out.
Double click it.